morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. The 54-year-old Greek Air Force officer accused of espionage is appearing before a military prosecutor today as authorities investigate alleged contacts with a Chinese-linked company. The officer has already spoken with Greece's National Intelligence Service. He said he shared his resume with companies while seeking work after retirement and was approached by a Chinese company through that process. According to available information, a Chinese consulting firm first contacted him in late 2023. The firm was represented by a Chinese national using an American name. In early 2024, the officer traveled to Beijing for several days without informing the Air Force, later stating he attended a Chinese language seminar. Authorities say he met the same contact and a woman of Chinese origin in Beijing. Investigators believe those meetings set a framework for the information to be shared and the methods of transmission. Officials also report that the Chinese agent later visited Athens and may have contacts in other European countries. Authorities say the officer received payments in cryptocurrency, US dollars and euros, and made ATM withdrawals in ways intended to avoid identification. A 2.5-year-old girl remains in critical condition at a children's hospital in Athens after nearly drowning in a fountain in Kalithea on Sunday evening. Authorities say the toddler slipped from her father's supervision. Eyewitnesses reported that passers-by pulled her from the water and began life-saving measures. A nearby restaurant worker performed CPR, initially claiming to be a doctor to continue resuscitation. Police transported the child to the hospital before an ambulance arrived, where doctors worked to stabilize her. Early scans showed no signs of brain swelling, though an MRI is planned in the next 24 hours to monitor possible complications. Both parents, aged 26 and 23, were initially detained on suspicion of child neglect. The mother was released by prosecutorial order, and the father was briefly presented to a prosecutor before being released. Authorities continue to investigate the circumstances of the accident, including the role of a stage structure in the square that residents say may have limited visibility and contributed to the incident. A 71-year-old woman died in a tragic accident in Elefsina yesterday afternoon while assisting her daughter with parking. According to reports, the woman was helping her 44-year-old daughter parallel park. During the maneuver, the vehicle was moving in reverse with the passenger door open. Under circumstances described by authorities, the woman became trapped between the open door and a tree on the sidewalk. She suffered a severe head injury and heavy bleeding. Emergency services transported her to a nearby hospital where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Police arrested the daughter on a charge of involuntary homicide. Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis is meeting a delegation of livestock farmers today at the Maximos Mansion in Athens to discuss the future of the sector. Government sources say the talks will focus on long-term support, restructuring and sustainability for Greek livestock farming, as well as measures to strengthen biosecurity and safeguard herds. Officials describe the industry as a key contributor to both domestic production and exports, with plans to rebuild it on stable foundations. Immediate measures under discussion include a legislative regulation on agricultural diesel fuel. The plan would exempt farmers from the special consumption tax at the pump and adjust fuel allocations per crop. Officials expect the final regulation to be completed by the end of the month. Authorities and farmers will also review strategies to manage livestock disease, with concerns over potential rise in sheep and goat pox cases ahead of Easter. Government sources note that solutions to the sector's challenges require time and targeted planning, emphasizing a coordinated approach with farmers and relevant ministries. Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan commented on the upcoming meeting between Prime Minister Mitsotakis and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, focusing on the state of bilateral relations. Speaking in an interview, Fidan said Greece's leadership has both the intention and the ability to move bilateral issues forward. He expressed confidence in Prime Minister Mitsotakis and Foreign Minister Yorgos Gerapetritis, saying they can advance discussions between the two countries. Fidan said Greece's domestic political climate creates constraints. He argued that internal political competition in Greece makes it harder to address long-standing disputes and strategic issues. When asked about Greek Defense Minister Nikos Dendias, Fidan said political audiences and rivalries within Greece influence how leaders position themselves on sensitive bilateral matters. He added that Greek leaders often face a dilemma between seeking solutions to historic disputes and managing domestic political pressures. These were the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. Thank you for watching.